I think you were speaking in mute. Arvind,
Am I
I
talking
can able to
on?
see you. Yeah, now it's good.
Okay, so everyone has joined, or are we waiting for anybody? It's 8:04. We can start, I think. Just 1 second. Okay, fine. So just to give a small introduction about myself, I'll be taking this session. So my name is Dr. Arvind Subramanian. I work at a company called Alpha Rhythm as a AI engineer. I have a doctorate degree in technology adoption, and I am a Microsoft certified AI Azure engineer, as well as IBM certified expert in Watson X AI. And I have a Google Cloud Diamond League practitioner certificate. That and I'm a best-selling author in Amazon for the year 2021, and I have built close to 50 plus Gen AI applications, pilots, and POCs. So pilots and POCs are basically proof of concepts and small applications that will be solving industry use cases, industry related problems, company related use cases. So I have been building those pilots and POCs for a lot of companies. Around 50 plus applications I have built in the last 1 year, and I have generated local LLMs, that is creating AI applications without internet. How to make AI applications without using the internet? So that is called local LLMs, and custom tuned LLMs. That is, LLMs means large language model. So you are looking at chat gpt or other applications. They are all foundational models, but what I do is custom tuned foundational model. So based on industry use cases, based on companies use case, creating a custom LLM. So that I have done, and I've also created something called as small language model. So large language model is using LLMs which are tuned on high number of data sets. So what happens is the language model will be very large. So you don't need such a large language model because the computing speed and the tokens needed to run a large language model is very high. So what I do is I create something called a small language model. So for the use case, whatever data set is needed, we create that, and we make the AI work for that. So that the costing and the compute needed for the running that small language model is small. So that is what we've done. And what are my expertise in Gen AI practice? So I have done model fine tuning, I have done vector embedding, I have expertise in retrieval augmented generation, I have created AI agents, and I am an expert in prompt engineering. So we will come to all of these points, like what this means. But these are all important aspects in Gen AI. So these are my skills, and these are my capabilities, and this is my profile. You can connect to me on LinkedIn. This is my name, and you can see what I do there. Okay, so let us go to the session. So let us see what is generative AI. First, generative AI is basically a set of algorithm that can generate new content. That it can be text, that can be image, that can be video, that can be audio, based on some patterns that it has learned from existing data. So, what is the difference between traditional AI, machine learning, and generative AI? So, machine learning or traditional AI, what we were using was, we used to give a set of patterns and we used to predict how it will be in the future. For example, I can give a stock price of Apple, like how it had performed in the last 5 years, and I can ask it to predict how it will be in the next 1 year. So it will understand a pattern and then it will predict. So where machine learning was used, Machine learning was used to predict churn, whether we can give a credit card to a customer, whether he will pay the credit card bill. How it will predict? It will predict based on a customer's credit score. Credit card customer has paid in the last 5 years, so in the next 1 year he will pay. So this much credit card he had used in the last 1 year, this much he will use. So those kind of predictive analysis, machine learning was used. So this can predict. Machine learning was used in lot of things like this credit card, like other things like insurance, how much he will fly in the next year based on his flight tickets. Like he has booked so many flight tickets in the last 5 years, so he will book so many flight tickets in this 1 year. So many movies he watched in 5 years, so this many movies he will watch this year. So this is what machine learning, predictive analysis used to do. But what is generative AI doing? Generative AI is basically trained on a large set of data set. So it trained on a lot of learning patterns, and then it will create something based on it. Basically, it is creating a new text or new image, new video, new audio based on learning some kind of patterns from the existing data. So this is what generative AI is doing. So predictive analysis will predict, but generative AI is creating a text or creating a new content based on what it learned. So it is like making a student learn, school and college, so he will go and do new thing in job. That is what, if I can give you an example. So generative AI is like you have trained the model on the school or college, but in the job he will go and do new things like creating new text, new image, new video, new audio based on what he learned in school and college. So something like that generative AI is doing, but this is not human. This is a robo, or this is a technology that is doing that one. So far we have seen only prediction or only passive things, but generative AI is something creating. So that is the good thing about this technology. So, what are the applications that we can create with Gen AI? We can create in marketing, we can create in design, we can create in customer service, or many other industries wherever there is a possibility for creating content, and it can be used to create personalized content. It can, used to create any new customer experience. It can use to automate any repetitive task. So all those things this Gen AI can do. Okay, so what are the limitations with this Gen AI? So there are some limitations where there is something called as hallucination. What is hallucination is sometimes when even when we are there, right? We have learned something in school and college, but when we go to this office, we may do something that is not exact or accurate. We will do our job, but it is not accurate. So similarly, Gen AI has learned something in the school and college or in the model training, but when it comes to creating the task, it will do some hallucination, that it will not do the accurate thing, but it will do something that is close to accuracy. So what it will do, uh, if you ask it to do, if you ask it some question, it will answer some questions correctly, some questions there may be some deviation. So this is deviation is called as hallucination. Similarly, as I told you, there is a large computational resource or large data set needed for a Gen AI to function. So that's when we need some computer power like RAM, some GPUs needed, some tokens. That is, it is becoming very expensive to run a Gen AI. So those kind of things. So that is a problem. And then the last thing is there is some misuse happening with AI. So you have seen some, deep fake, or creating a photo with someone else, or creating some audio of someone else. So those kind of things. You have seen some, celebrities audio being used, or celebrities deep fakes. So those kind of things. So as a new technology is coming, right? There are some people who will use it for good. Some people are using for some bad things. So those kind of concern is there, like if someone is using AI for something wrong like that. But that is a limitation. But the technology will itself create some things to so that we can prevent from any bad thing happening. So these are things that are limitation related to Gen AI. Okay, so next concept is called as vector embedding. So what is vector embedding? So when I am talking, so I am talking in a natural language, right? I am talking in English, you are able to understand me. But what is this Gen AI? We are talking with the system. So I am talking in a natural language, but system should understand me, right? But system cannot understand natural language. But what it will understand? It will understand something called as vector embedding. So when I am talking in a natural language, the system is converting my natural language to a vector embedding. So this process is very important in the Gen AI. So I to in a to explain you further, vector embedding is a technique where we convert any word or phrases or data to vector. That is a continuous continuous new numbers that will be stored in a vector space. So let me show you a visualization. So this is the vector embedding visualization. You are having like a object one, object two, object three. The object one can be like a text, object two can be a image, object three can be a video. So these three things are in the form of natural language. Okay. So for now the system has to understand what is there so that it can create some or it can answer based on the text, right? So generative AI, what it will do is there is something called as embedding models. That model can be any model. I will come to the name of the models in the later slide. So what happened? We are giving the object one, object two, object three to the embedding model. The embedding model will convert that object one, object to object 3 to a series of vectors. So this is how it will be like 0 0.6, 0 0.3, 0 0.1 like that. Lakhs of numeric data will be stored actually. So this is called as vector embedding. So what will happen to this lakhs of vectors? It will get stored in this kind of a space. So in a normal world, we will see x-axis, y-axis. That is horizontal, vertical, right? But in the world of AI there are thousands of dimensions. So in the thousands of dimensions, this vector that we have created here, it will go and get stored. So this is called as vector embedding. So this is how the AI's brain will be like. So basically the AI will convert data into a form of this vector, and then it will store it in this brain. So whenever we ask any question to the AI, so from here only it will be able to understand. Okay, this person had told this. I have stored it here, and he is asking this, and I will tell from here. So this is how it will work actually. So next we are coming to this thing called as LLM. What is the full form of LLM? LLM means large language model. Okay, so large language model are something like pre-trained models that have some kind of large data set. It is prepared. Say for example, so there is something called as LLM. In that LLM, there is something called as foundation models. Okay, foundation models are models created by these LLM providers. So what they do, they take a lot of data set that it can be text data set, image data set, number data set, or a coding data set. So all the data set they will train, okay, so that it can come to a elementary level. That is a foundation level. It will come where it can be able to answer any kind of question related to the data set. So what they will do, they will train it on these millions and trillions of data set, and they will create a foundation model, and it will come. So this foundation model is good for certain tasks, like for example text generation, code generation, math, answering any math related question, answering any logic related question. So those kind of things it will answer. And what we can do is we can take these foundation models from this LLM, and we can fine tune them for our specific task. Okay, so these are some of the LLM providers that we are having, which are like top LLM providers. So you will be knowing about OpenAI. You will be knowing about Azure. This is Azure OpenAI. Something called as Anthropic. Anthropic is the Claude 3 which has released recently. Hugging Face. Hugging Face is basically like a open source library where people from across the world they create any models and they are creating. Vertex is basically Google Vertex AI. There is some other things like fireworks and stuff. Amazon is AWS, Amazon Bedrock, and Olama. Olama is the local language LLM that I told you, where we can do AI without even the internet. So that is what we are seeing. And then, as I told you, that is LLM. This is foundation model, where we are creating something for base, using that large corpus of information that we trained. We can use these foundation models for any elementary task, but if we want to do any specific task, we have to fine tune that model. So you can see this one. This is how a foundation model will work. So what they have done, they have given text related data, structured related data, speech audio data, 3D signal related data, image related data. So what they have done, they have taken all the data and they have trained the model. Okay, so this is the foundation model. So this foundation model can be used for information extracting. That is, it can ask the user to get any information. What is your name? Can you tell me your email ID? Can you tell me your phone number? So these kind of things. So for example, you are going to a Swiggy. You are telling, I ordered food. My food does not come, like that. But food, first Swiggy will ask, right? What is your name? When did you order? All those things. So now there is some other software technology that is doing that one, but in the future AI will be like a customer agent. It can ask any kind of questions. So anything related to extracting information from the user, this task can be used. Similarly, object recognition. So you are showing any image saying my food parcel is broken, so it is able to recognize whether the parcel is broken or not. So AI is able to do that. Then the next one, instruction following. Basically, you are asking the AI, like, if a customer is telling the food is broken, you have to ask for the image. Then you have to send the image to the team, and then you have to inform the hotel that the food is broken. So this is an instruction that Swiggy is giving. So the AI is able to follow that one. Then the last image captioning. So now it will send that image broken food to the Swiggy team with the captioning saying that customer Arvind or customer so and so food is broken. So like that, it will caption the image and send. Then the sentiment analysis. After this talking to the customer, the AI will tell whether the customer is happy or sad, or positive or negative. Those kind of analysis of that one. Then the last one, question answering. If the customer is telling, I want any refund, how much refund is available, what discount is available, but with the available information, the AI is able to give the answer. Yeah, I can give you 30% discount, like that. So those kind of question answering the AI can do. So these are the things that the foundation model is trained to do. So I am saying these are tasks, some of the tasks that can be trained. We can even fine tune to, for our use case, like that. Okay. So next, retrieval augmented generation. So what is retrieval augmented generation? So here we saw something like the AI, how the AI is able to store the data as a form of vector. Okay, so it is related to that one. So in the RAG, what we will be doing is, now the AI, we have given AI some data. The data is stored in the form of vector somewhere, right? Now when I am asking a user query, the AI should understand my user query and it should bring the correct answer from the brain, right? So how it will be able to do that is called as RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So as I told you, the AI does not understand natural language. The AI only understand vector. Similarly, when I ask any question, the AI will convert my question also to a vector, and then, so my question also is in the form of a number, right? And the data is also in the form of number. So it applies a mathematical function called as cosine similarity. So it does that mathematical function and it will put the formula. So what will happen? My user input that text and the data, both of the numbers, it will do a formula, and then whichever formula is matching, it will come back with the answer. So this mathematical function is called as cosine similarity. So what they will do is, first the user will ask a question to the AI, and the AI will go and check the data. It will convert my question into a number. It will go to the data. It will perform a mathematical function, and from there it will retrieve correct information, and that information it will provide to the AI, and that is this is the information that is there in our database. So based on that one, it will create an output. So this process is called as retrieval augmented generation. Okay. And then what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is basically chatting with the system. Okay, so what will happen if I am having some queries related to my I have a AI that is in front of me, but I have to ask the AI some question, so that AI is able to answer the correct answer for my question. So this is called as prompting. So the way of talking to the AI by the user, that method is called as prompt engineering. So how do you do the prompt engineering? First you have to understand what is the task that is in front of us. Then we have to craft our prompt, that is craft our user message accordingly. Then we have to align our prompt according to the user need, and then we have to optimize the prompt, because as I told you, AI is very costly, or very it is very sometimes we need a lot of computational power to run a AI system. So that time we need to optimize our prompt, that is we need to give correct amount of question, so that we don't spend too much money in getting the answer for that one. And then we need to select the correct AI model, which model is the correct one, and we need to generate the output in the format in which we want. We want it in the chart, we want it in the table, we want it as text, like that. And then we have to improvise, what we are getting. So these are the processes of prompt engineering. So you can see this one. These are some of the things that prompt engineering we need to do. We need to be clear and we need to be specific with our prompt. We have to be complete. That is, we have to, because when we are talking to a person, the person to person, they will understand. Yeah, he is telling that. Yeah, he is telling this. But when we are talking to the AI, we have to be very correct, because whatever we are telling, then the AI will understand only that, and it will able to give an answer based on that. So even in the chat GPT you would have tried, when you are giving one command, AI is telling something, but when we are giving the same thing, the AI is telling something. So we have to, so how you have to tell the AI, what you are trying to tell. So that is the prompt engineering. So these are some of the things that we have to make sure. Same way, you have to use complete sentence. You don't have to give any half-baked commands. And then you have to include context. That is what you are trying to achieve and how you are trying to achieve. So the AI will be able to tell, how to help you better. And then you can have something called as input example. This is called as few shot training. That is, you are giving some examples for the AI. When I ask you this, you have to answer this. When I ask you this, you have to answer this. Now I am asking this. What? So AI will be like, okay. So the user has given example. When he asks this, yeah, I have to tell this. So now he is asking this, then I have to tell this. So basically, you are giving some kind of example for the AI to do that one. Then specify output format. As I told you, how you want the output. You want it as any code that you want, like HTML, JavaScript, Python, or you want it like a table, like a Excel, or you want it like a image, like a chart, or you want it like a JSON format, or you want it like a text format, or you want it like a email. So, or you want it like a audio. So that output format you have to specify. And then this is called as A/B testing, experimenting with different phrasing. That is putting the, I mean, there is a sentence. You can put the sentence in active voice, passive voice, or change, the first line to the second line to the first line. Those kind of phrasing you can do. Appropriate lengthening, and then testing and refining. What is handling edge case? Edge case is basically negative. That is, uh, the AI should not give any negative related output, right? So you have to tell the AI, don't give these kind of things for me. I am asking only this. So you are preventing the AI from giving any. So you are, say for example, you are giving a HTML code and asking it to write it in a different way, but the AI is giving something that you don't know, like HTML format that you don't know. So you tell the AI, don't use these kind of tag because this is not suitable for me, but use only this. Like for example, use only div tag, don't use h1 tag or h2 tag. So those kind of things you can tell the AI, and make sure that AI does not give those kind of output. You can avoid bias, any inappropriate things like that. So this is all common. And you can do some kind of fine tuning based on prompts. Like for example, you can fine tune the prompts, like I am trying to achieve this, you can give me only this, don't give any other thing. So those kind of fine tuning, so that the AI is tuned to your particular use case. So these are some of the major AI ecosystem that is there. Amazon's AWS Bedrock, Microsoft Azure AI, OpenAI, you know about ChatGPT like that. Google Vertex AI Model Garden. Anthropic is the Claude ecosystem. IBM, they have something called as Watson X AI. Hugging Face is more for open source AI, and Cohere is a corporate related, enterprise related AI systems. So these are some of the things that is there, and we can see if you have any questions we can take, or I can even show some this playground that is there. So let us just uh, okay. So this is OpenAI's playground. You would have seen that one. You can go to OpenAI and you can see. So this is a playground. This is where you can send a message like hi or hello or something. So we can send messages here. This is the model where we are seeing. This is as I told you, these are the foundation models. So foundation model, you can see chat gpt, gpt-4, gpt-4 turbo, gpt 3.5 turbo. So these are models. So you can see how much they are trained. That is, gpt-4 is trained on how much text, image, code, understand, like that. So they have trained this fine-tuned model. I mean, these are foundation model, and you can do the fine tuning here. That is, you can take the model and you can give some kind of data for that model, and you can do. So this is basically batch size. Batch size is how much data that we are giving. Okay, learning rate multiplier is how much. Uh, how fast the image, I mean the model should learn. And then the number of epoch is how many times the model should learn. How much data we are giving, how fast the model should learn, how many times the model should learn. So there is a foundation model given by the chat gpt or the open AI, that is gpt 3.5. So what they have done, they have trained the model on large data set, trillions and trillions of data they have trained already. They have trained, and here already it will, based on the foundation knowledge, it will able to answer. But if you want to fine tune based on your own data, we can do it in the fine tune thing. And then there is something called as assistance completions. So you can try all these things, like various tasks we can give. And here you can see some things, parameters. Temperature is for creativity. So you give more number of temperature, it will give more creative answers. Less number of temperature, it will give more deterministic answer. Tokens, so this is what I told you, that is how much input and how much output we can give. So the model knows exactly how much, that is, if you give more token, it will give a lengthy answer. If you give a less token, it will give a short and crisp answer. So top is again, it's a diversity. That what is happening is, you are making the model tight or loose, like something like if you are giving a high number of top p, you are same like how temperature is there, it will give difference in the way it answers, more creative, lesser creative, like that. So you can tinker with this and you can do. So this is the playground in the open AI. Similarly, you can see in the bedrock there is all these things. For example, base model, here they are calling the foundation model as base model. So you can see that what all base model that are available. So Claude is there, so command R is there, embed English, so all these things are there. So you can take that and you can do the fine tuning. Same way they have a playground here, you can test your playground is basically prompt lab, where you can test prompts, like how you are giving a prompt, how you are getting answers, like that. And there is something called as guardrail, as I told you. Negative, that is any kind of negative related things, we can provide a guardrail. That is, if user is telling something negative or is asking something negative, you can prevent the AI from answering that using this guardrail. And you can see this knowledge base, as I told you. You are giving a document to the data, the data is creating a knowledge base. Basically, it is converting it to a vector, it is passing to an embedding model, creating a vector, and from the vector it is able to answer queries for you, and you can use that that vector for chatting with the AI in the playground or anything. So that is the thing. And they also have some model evaluation. This is for not our thing. That is, if we are creating a LLM by ourselves, we can do some kind of evaluation, how it is, whether the model is good or not. So those kind of things are there. Similarly, this is IBM's thing, where there is a prompt lab, where there are some models. There is, as I told, right, some examples input. If I give this, you have to answer this. So you are giving the AI answer before itself. For example, I am telling, if I ask like which fruit, I mean, like we are giving some kind of input, like say for example, AI means so and so, and output is this. um, Let us take some example. Who is, like, one second, what is, um, like, text summary. So summary is there, right? So what we are doing, we are taking some examples. So like this is the summary is there, Gutenberg something. So we are giving like this, and we are giving, this is a summary about Gutenberg. So this is the input we are giving, this is the output we are giving. So similarly, we are giving this chunk, okay, and we are asking to generate output. So see, I didn't tell, I just gave a text about Gutenberg and told this is a summary about Gutenberg. And here I have written about printing. So it is also telling this is a summary about printing. So this is called as input and output, prompting. That is, we are giving an input and we are telling how the output should be. Similarly, model will take the input and give the output. So this kind of prompt like. And this is Anthropic, where Claude, I think you would have seen Claude. You can just you can just create an account and talk with Claude. Hi Claude. So Claude will answer based, it's like chat GPT only. Hi, so like that. Can you tell me a joke to share with class or attending AI seminar? This Here is a joke. Why don't AI models score? So it is giving something, like the joke is. So okay, overfitting. Okay, overfitting in machine learning is basically when when you are training a model, you are giving both positive data or negative data. That is, in case of this, this is the answer. In case of this negative thing, this is the answer, like that. But sometimes what we'll do is we give either positive data, too much positive data, or too much negative data. So what will happen is the model will become biased. That is, it will become very, that is called as overfitting, where we are giving more positive data than negative data, or more negative data than positive data. So this can not only be positive negative, it can be case to case. If else we are doing, right? So for if we are giving certain cases, for else we are giving certain cases. But in case if we give more cases for if and less cases for else, so those kind of scenario it will happen. We have to give 50%, 50%. But if we don't give that equal sharing, overfitting will happen. So that is what this Anthropic is doing. So these are the things that is there. But I just wanted to explain all these things. But if you have any questions, we can ask the questions and then I can answer.
Hi, this is Jagan here. Thanks for your intro. That's good. Cool. And yeah, I thought of asking what are all the things you are going to cover as a course?
Okay, so as I explained in the class, these are some of the basics and the important elements of AI. Okay, so what I have given in the class is only an introduction. So in
Yeah.
the class, we will be seeing something like in-depth understanding. So now I am telling prompt engineering. Just in one slide, I told you this is prompt engineering. But there are various ways of prompt engineering. So one way is that input-output format. Second way is giving context. There is a methodology called as RRR, where we are giving prompt based on a framework. So in prompt engineering, there are why prompt engineering is very important is because every industry or every company today they are taking AI, they are spending a lot of money. Okay, lot of money in the terms of computational power, in terms of tokens, in terms of paying the model, all those things. So a prompt engineer is the person. So why they are paying money? They are paying money to talk with the AI and generate some content. Correct. So a prompt engineer job is to talk with the AI and get the desired output. But the prompt engineer, he has to do his job efficiently so that the company will spend less, right? So there are various ways the prompt engineer can do his job effectively by talking to the system. So what are the ways, like you know uh, what are the frameworks we should use, how we should use, how to use effectively the prompt lab and stuff like that. So this is one topic I am telling in detail. So like that, each one is very like how, like I told about vector embedding. So how to make the data or a text into a vector. So there are various process. One thing is called chunking, one thing is called retrieving, embedding, storing, vector stores, spaces. So there are a lot of things like that. So each of the thing we will learn in detail and how to do that. So those kind
So,
of things
Arvind,
in
Mm.
detail actually. So
Yeah,
each
even
of
sorry
these
to
things.
interrupt. Yeah, even
can you
see.
walk us through
Yeah,
the course content? I think that will give us more idea.
exactly. Yeah, that is
So
what
course
actually I thought of.
content, yeah, course content you can check with the detailed course content. You can check with Visualpath later. I will share
Okay.
with them on what are the topics we will go. But what I'm telling is, each of the things I discussed today, there are that itself will come for 1 week, 10 days. So they are like such big chapters actually. So I will take that. We can even learn from code level understanding, like how to create a small, vector embedding, how to create a small this thing, how to create a small AI. So all those things we can learn.
Okay.
That is
Can I
what my
quickly
next
ask,
question
like,
was
what
actually.
are all will be the? Yeah, sorry.
Will we
Yeah.
use the
Can,
SDK in this class, or it will be more on a kind of a web portal? What is the hands-on here?
I didn't get you.
So,
what will be the
in our
practical session?
just a minute, in our hands-on class, are we going to use more of a on a portal, or we are going to use that SDK like through
Can you
coding?
type? Oh, okay. Coding, you're saying. Okay. So, see, there are, it's depending on the class thing, because some people may be advanced in coding, some people will be basic in coding. So, what we will be trying to do is we'll try to keep it minimal actually. We will try to keep the concept more, but a little understanding about Python and how it works, that is important, because without knowing a little knowledge of Python, it is a little difficult because see, there are no code low code tools available in the internet. Okay, I can teach that with that actually. But when you are going to a job, or when you are doing something related to AI, you may need some understanding of how Python is working. So I will explain
Yeah,
that one. Yeah.
no, we have that understanding. Actually, my project demands more on the code side. We have to kind of deploy our own custom solution using
Yeah,
Gen
so
AI.
see, Ajay, what I'm saying, for you, advanced level of coding is needed, right? But
Hmm.
so for that, maybe you need to take an advance that you can discuss with Visualpath, because we have to see like general consensus, because there may be some people who
Yeah,
are
I agree.
advanced. Yeah, some people
Mhm.
there may be basic. So if I tell advanced coding, I am a practitioner, a practicing AI engineer. I can, tell complex Python related things for AI thing, but class also should understand, right? So that is what I'm seeing. So we will have a basic level of understanding of code. So with minimal understanding of code and minimal usage of code, how to do it. So that is what we will be trying to see. Here, this class is more about understanding the concepts and principles of generative AI, how to implement that for business, how to implement that for company, how to understand the various concepts, so that when someone tells all these terms, embedding model, vectors, RAG, all those things, so you know what is the thing, how to achieve that one, and how to, because in 1 month we can't become expert coder, right? So in 1 month we will understand what the what this thing is, in I mean, like in this time period, the 2 months or 1 month, what the course is. In that you will understand what the AI is, what the generative AI is, how to achieve that one, how, what are the different concepts, what are the different models, what are the different processes, how to do the text chunking, how to do the storing of embedding, vector embedding, how to retrieve that one, how to create a Gen AI use case. So those kind of things we will achieve. So what are the providers, how to do the API, API calls for the provider, how to get that answers, how to get a desired output. So those kind of things we can do that.
Okay, thank you.
So
Yeah,
any other
Arvind,
question?
I have one
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
So are we taking a real-time data set to modeling train the models, or
So real time, so it depends on your thing actually. So we
mm,
can so in my industry use case, we have worked with almost live data. So for example, whatever data it is coming to the company today, we have taken that and we have used it for AI fine tuning. Okay, see, fine tune, so what happened is, there is two ways you can give knowledge to the AI. One way
mm,
is giving a custom knowledge base, that is the RAG. That is, you are giving a data, the data the AI is storing in the vector store, and it is retrieving and answering. So this is one way. Second way is fine tuning. That is, you have taken a foundation model, but I want the model to behave in a certain way for my company. Okay,
mm.
my company is this, I am using the AI for this, so you answer like this. So you are fine tuning the model based on the data set.
Okay.
RAG is lesser expensive, because you are just having a data and you are paying for the data. But for fine tuning, what you will be doing is you are downloading the model's weight, and you are giving the data, and you are tuning it. So there is a high computational power is there. So you have to be mindful of how much data you are fine tuning, because even OpenAI, they fine tune it only for a certain date, because they can't fine tune real time, because real time there are too much data that is coming. So depending on the use case we can do, but we can do that for depending upon what is the use case. Whether your model needs every day it needs to be updated, or you have a data that, like for example PDF or website or something, we can feed the data, it can take the data, and it can be trained for that. So that is RAG, so we can do that also. So based on the use case, we can fine tune or we can do RAG.
Okay. So what are the prerequisites for this course?
Prerequisite is some understanding about Python, like you know some basics of Python. uh, that is a prerequisite. Apart from that, understanding about and some interest about AI, what is generative AI, and some, are you using chat gpt, or are you using any kind of AI in your daily life, are you interested about it? So those kind of interest and some kind of whether you are used, because AI is there everywhere, right? Currently everyone is trying to do that. So everyone is using chat gpt, everyone is using that one. So
Okay.
that interest about using the AI and interest about prompting it and getting answers. So that interest is a prerequisite. Apart from that, some coding knowledge in Python is needed, because for basic things we can learn in theory, but you need to create something. No, for that you need to understand what is that, what is the code doing. So like that, sometimes you can even use the AI itself for learning the code. So you can just take the code, you can put it in this chat gpt and ask it to explain in a very layman term. So like that also you can do. So so these things you can actually try. Someone has messaged, I think. uh, is there
Yeah.
a course with heavy focus on? Yeah, we can do that, Pushkar. I think we can do that. Maybe you need a heavy focus on Python and frameworks. We can devise a course for that specifically. So what we can do is, there are various ways. We can take various frameworks. We can use APIs. With the APIs, how to use that? We can create a Python Flask application, and in the front end, we can have a normal UI. With that UI, user can chat, and that chat can be sent to the backend. From the backend, some output can be generated. It can be put in the front end. We can create chatbot. We can create chat with PDF, chat with Excel. I can show you some things I had built also. So let me just show you. So there is something called as Streamlit, which is specifically used for this AI related things. So here you can see this PDF chat. So these are applications I created with AI. Some sentiment is okay. So this uh, some okay. So this application I created with Chat GPT 4o. So it's a image reading application. So you can see this. So what we have done, so here we have a screenshot of our class. So I am just putting. So what is this image? So you can see it will tell that it's a web. The image is a screenshot of a virtual meeting platform. It's a video call. There is a multiple participant. One attendee is my name, Arvind Subramanian. He is on the camera. He is the speaking. Other participant is cameras turned off, but their initial is RVM like that. They are all in muted. Interface is showing like this, and so basically it is, you see, right? This is an application I built actually. So those kind of things we can build. I can show you some things that we have done. So it's all mostly Python related. So this okay. So this is the code of this application. Uh, so you can see, like, we built with Streamlit. How we have used a Open API key. What we have done. So we can, if this is needed, we can do something where how we can use a model, and we can use that model to create any interesting application. So we can do that. So what I'm saying is, there is potential for creating high, like you need some frameworks, like you need to create a text chatbot, you need to create an image chatbot. You need to create an audio chatbot. You need to create something like a video related thing. So all those things we can create with AI. We can create a heavy focused thing also. But this class was more about understanding the fundamentals of Gen AI and how we can use it for the business purpose. But if you want anything related, in a high code based thing, we can do that also. Yes. Any
Oh,
other
if you
question?
say like
High
yeah,
code.
yeah, let's start.
Hello.
I, I'm getting multiple audio.
No, no, no. High code in the sense what you are going to cover. So that's what I thought of asking like somewhere you're saying, right?
Will you cover in
See,
the same class? I mean, in same, or that's something extra you're thinking?
no, what I mentioned was if there is some understanding about Python and some you are interested in coding related things, we can look at learning how to create different applications. Like we can understand the concepts of coding an AI application. So that will be more about code related thing. Like the entire class will be about how we are, what are the various framework that is there. Okay, and we will take some 3 or 4 application and how we built the application. So I will explain in a code way, and the last one will be like a hands-on lab where you yourself will be building a code. So in the class we would have discussed various framework, we would have discussed various processes, various applications, how we have built each things. So based on that, in the last hands-on lab you will be creating your own application. So this is a course that we can
Okay, that's great. But let me ask an example. What applications you are meaning here?
I just showed you one application, right? In the class,
Yeah,
just
the
I
same
showed you.
similar way you were saying, like for example, text
Yeah,
to
so
text or
I just explained it 3 times. Like a text application, we can build the image application, we can build the audio.
okay, cool,
I'm
cool, cool,
repeating
cool.
the same sentence for the fourth time.
Yeah, the same thing like we can be able to build. That is what you are going to
Yeah,
be.
that is what I'm saying. Yes.
Cool. Okay, I have any no questions now. Yeah.
How many days the duration, Arvin, for this?
You are in mute, Arvind.
You are
I'm
in
on
You
mute.
mute.
are in, you are in mute.
Okay. So I think Richa has dropped her phone number. So anything related to the course, like how long it will be there, those things you can discuss with them actually. How much,
And
what is the time period, like that. See, this course for which I gave the demo is 2 months, 8 weeks actually. But you can discuss with Richa, like what is exactly that you are looking for, like a basic or a foundation level or advanced level. So those things they will contact with me, and then we can form that one accordingly.
Hey, quick question. Are we gonna be only focusing on managed service LLM like OpenAI, Gemini, or are we gonna also focus on like Llama and Mistral? And when you talk about fine tuning, are you gonna only go through conceptually, like what the fine tuning is, or are we gonna actually
We
take the
can,
data
yeah,
sets?
we can do fine tuning. Yeah, so we can do hands on actually, Himanshu. So see, the models is basically models is not the like important thing, right? So what I'm saying is, if we will first go through the concepts, and as I told you, there are repositories like Hugging Face where there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of open source models that are there. So you don't need only commercial models like OpenAI or Azure or Google Vertex or something that is commercial models. So there are a lot
Right.
of open source models. There are models that even don't even that will work even in the local environment like Olama, where
Right.
you can just download the model weights to your system. So Olama is like a container like Docker where you can just download whichever model weights you want, and you can operate it out of your system itself. You don't even need a internet or a cloud access. So those kind of things also you can do. So you don't need to spend money itself, right? So there are open source models also, and there are closed models. That is GPT 3.5 or GPT 4. OpenAI's models are closed, so they don't give model weights. They don't publish model weights, but we can fine tune it in the Chat GPT environment. I mean the OpenAI environment itself. So we can do that hands on. We can do the fine tuning hands on also. So
Okay.
not only
Okay.
theoretically, we can do that hands on also.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to confirm it's not going to be only conceptual class, right? We're going to have
Yeah,
all
yeah,
these
it is
hands-on
going to
stuff.
be
Okay.
practical. It is going to be
Okay.
practical.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think I've answered almost everything. So anything related to course or anything related to fees or the duration and stuff, or what is there in the course, you can check with the Visualpath team, because I am more, like inclined towards uh, the content or the course. I mean, like the technical side of things. I mean, like telling conceptual things that is there currently. But if you want anything specific, like what you need in the course, you can inform the visual party, and then we can devise accordingly and get the things started, right? I think if there is not any other questions, we can probably.
Yeah, Arvind, I have a question. Like, I mean, how the market is going to be, replaced with the Gen AI in the future?
See, currently what is happening, whenever there is a new technology that is coming. So I think there were some interesting quotes by Google's founder, Microsoft's founder, like in their presentation. So they see Gen AI is not like any other technology that came recently. Gen AI is like how humans discovered fire, because there has never been in technology like Gen AI before. I don't know if there will be another technology revolution like Gen AI that will happen in the future. This is a once in a lifetime kind of a situation, because in the past we've never had a technology that can actually learn from our past and create something. There have been technologies where you learn something from the past and predict or forecast or calculate, but there has never been a situation where something come and create something. It's a like there is a new content, a new a solution or a new thing that is being created by, where it can actually replicate human skills, right? So there is the adoption of the technology is going to be more and more. First, whenever there is an adoption, there is something called as Maslow's theory of adoption. So what will happen is, first there will be some people who will innovate. That is, when a new technology comes, a lot of people, innovators, they will come and try the technology. After that, what will happen, there will be some kind of people who are major adopters, I mean like early adopters, who are really liking the technology and they will start adopting. Then there will be some late early majority people who are more people, they will come and adopt. Then there will be late majority, then there will be laggards. Laggards are people who are last. So what we should be trying to do is, we should, when a new technology is coming, we should adopt it. And that this technology is going to be more and more adopted, because it is actually trying to what do you say, assist humans, assist people in the things. What is the signal? What I'm seeing is, whatever technology you are using currently, for example, we are going to a call, there is a Skype, right? In the Skype or in the Zoom, there is already a AI feature which is telling, you can turn on, and it is basically summarizing any audio that is happening in the call, and it is also summarizing, like if someone is mentioning your name, it is alerting the user someone is mentioning your name. So it's a AI inside the Skype. Similarly, if you are seeing in the Facebook, recently if you used it, if you see a photo or a video, there will be a small AI related thing that will become meta AI. So that they will be telling, you want to know more about the film, like that. So it is understanding which film this photo or a video is from, and it is asking the user to interact with the AI. In the LinkedIn, uh, you know first thing they will tell is generate a post with AI. wherever you are going, they are integrating AI inside. So there need not be a new AI. The thing is, they are trying to introduce that wherever people are using currently, they are introducing AI inside the system. So what is happening is adoption is happening more and more. So today, if you are into coding or something, people used to write like 50 lines of code or 30 lines of code in a very good day. In an average day, they will write some 5 or 10 lines of code. But with the AI, people are now writing on an average around 200 to 300 lines of code. This is happening because there is a technology help that is happening, right? So every industry will adopt AI some way or the other in the near future. It is going to happen, like it is a given, right? Already people are adopting, or they will adopt it in the near future. Either, see, there are a lot of elementary tasks, that is, there is a big document, you need to summarize the document. There is a document, you need to ask questions to a document. There is a Excel sheet, you need to do some kind of math formulas. You don't know the Excel formula, so you can just ask in natural language, the AI will do the Excel formula. So anything, like you are doing a PPT, your boss is coming and telling, I need a PPT in 10 minutes, I need a PPT in half an hour. So you don't need to do the PPT. There is a AI which will do the PPT. So every thing that is there, right? There is a AI solution that is coming to help you or replace. So there is a huge potential, but the thing is, we have to be prepared. Actually, there was a report that recently came. Around 20 million AI jobs will be created in the next 2 years across the world. So what will happen is, there is new titles that is going to come, like AI engineers, AI product managers, AI assistants. So there's going to be jobs that will be created. Yesterday there was a report on LinkedIn that lot of people are putting a title called as chief AI officer. Like how CEO is there, CIO is there, CTO is there, some CAO is there coming, like chief AI officer. So like the world is actually trying to come inside this AI thing. So that is what I'm. So there is no, I can't give a, like, how do I put? There is no thing that is more exciting than AI currently. It's a very interesting technology, and thing is, like, once we understand the concepts and once we are adept about it, right, then we can actually be in the wave. When the AI wave is happening, we should also travel in that wave. So that is the thing. I think, and that's pretty much it. Maybe you can connect with Visualpath regarding the course and other details. I think if there's no more questions, maybe we can end the call. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Evan.